All right, we're almost at 5:30. Oh, we are at 4:30. We're past 4:30. All right, I'll get started then. And as people come in, we'll let them in. So this week we are going to learn about the mountains in New York, which are super cool. This is a picture down here. It's super beautiful. I feel like New York is always known for the city or New York apples, but we also have really beautiful mountains, and I'm super excited to talk to you guys about them. So first off, I'm gonna do a little check-in. How are you guys feeling this week? Kind of look at all this and all the emojis and check it out, see which one seems like it fits best. And then if you want, whoop, happy, nice, you got a happy. Yeah, everyone can kind of go ahead and circle which one feels good. If you want to put it in the chat, that works really well too. I think I'm going to do that. So I am very happy today. So I'm going to put a smiley face in the chat. Happy. Oh, I'm seeing so many happies. This is so fun. Yay. I'm so glad to hear it. All right, so clear all. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Clear all drawings. Is someone a little stressed, or is that just a scribble? I hope it's just a scribble, but if you're feeling a little stressed, feel free to talk to me about it. And we're gonna do a quick warm up too, kind of get the brain moving, kind of get it all ready to do a lot of learning today. So this game is a little bit different. You want to find each of these pictures below at the bottom, but there's a lot of each picture. So see how many you can find of each. Like look for all the Earth days and the water bottles, and the presentation is just freaking out. All right, clear all drawings. So take a moment to look at it and then start circling them as you find them. Nice. Okay, someone found the recycling. That's great. Oh, okay, we found a lot of windmills, planet Earth. This is great. You guys are really good at this. You're always really good at it. I'm gonna check the chat real quick while you do that. Aw. Yay, I'm so happy to see all these smiley faces. You guys are doing so well. Oh my gosh. Did someone just circle all the ones at the bottom? I guess that does count. You did find them all. That's great. Okay, so does everyone feel all warmed up and stuff? So what is going on with the presentation? Nice. Okay, so I'm going to clear all these, and we are not going to be annotating for a while. So take a look at this. Do you guys think that New York has only one mountain range? And I might have just ruined the answer, sorry. I'm going to do a quick poll. Yes or no? And how many do you think it has? Launch poll. So how many mountain ranges do you guys think are in New York? We got 5, a lot of 5s, 0. Well, I hope there's not 0, or else this whole presentation is a lie. We got a couple 1s, a couple 3s. Nice. Almost everyone has voted. This is great, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're almost at the end. I don't want to say the answer until we're at the end, or really close to it. Let's see. Okay. I think that's pretty good. It looks like we mellowed out. Oh, okay. We are so close. There are 3 mountain ranges in New York. So we almost got it. Almost everyone got it right, which is great. These 3 are called the Adirondacks, the Catskills, and the Appalachians. This is a map of New York, and this is where those 3 mountain ranges are. So the Catskills are down in the south. The Adirondacks are up in the north. Here's like Vermont. And the Appalachians are over here, and this is Pennsylvania. So the Appalachians going to Pennsylvania. And here's New York City, which is super cool. So, yeah, this is called a topographical map. It's just like the map I showed you. But when you look at a topographical map, it's a map that'll show you how high things are or the elevation of the land in the map. Yeah, it's super cool. So all this tan area, you can see down here, this is 3,000 to 4,500 feet where it's tan, and then where it's dark green, it's a bit lower. So like as you can kind of see how I drew out a mountain there. It's really cool. Now you guys all know. So these are the 3 mountain ranges. You can see there's 3 tan spots. All right, so what are the mountains that are closest to New York? I'm gonna have you guys do like the little hand raise thing. Oh, it looks like Leah's got it.
Yay, thank you.
Yay.
I've actually been wondering how many mountain ranges are there in New York?
In New York, there's 3 mountain ranges.
Really?
Yeah.
Like 50 or more.
So mountain ranges are different than mountains, which you might be thinking of. So a mountain is one, and then a mountain range is like a bunch of mountains all in a row. So there's a lot of mountains. There might be like 50 mountains, but there's only 3 mountain ranges, which is 3 like groups of mountains. Which one do you think is closest to New York? Does anyone? Oh. Ogechi. Ogechi. Which one do you think is closest to New York?
I think I don't really know all of the names of them, but I think the Catskills is the closest.
Yes, you totally got it. It's the Catskills. That was awesome. Yeah, if you guys look back over here, whoop, these are the Catskills down here. Right above them are the Adirondack Mountains. And then right over here are the Appalachian Mountains. So Catskills, whoop, right here, which is awesome. So today we're going to talk about like 3 different things with these mountain ranges. We're going to talk about the highest peaks in New York, which, does anyone know what a peak is? You can put it in the chat if you want, or you can raise your hand. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, Leah looks like.
Thank you. What was the question again? Because I didn't hear you.
Oh, what is a peak? It's okay if
peak?
you don't know. Yeah.
Oh, that's really easy.
Okay.
A mountain peak. There's like 2 words for it. A peak or a mountain peak.
Yeah,
A mountain peak is the tip of a mountain, like the very tip of it.
Yeah, no, that's it exactly. That's awesome. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the animals that live in these mountains, and we're going to talk about the history of these mountains, which are really cool. So this is our most recent Matthew Patel trip to Bear Mountain, New York. And this was in the Catskill Mountains. So these are the ones that are closest to New York. So these are really unusual names. If you think about it, the Catskills, the Appalachians, and the Adirondacks, they don't sound like a whole lot of names they hear every day. And they come from really cool sources that also kind of show the history of this area. The Catskills come from the Dutch word for Catterskill, which means Wildcat Creek because there's so many wildcats up there. The Appalachian, the word Appalachian comes from the Native American village of Appalachian in Florida. And the word Adirondacks comes from the Mohawk word of Hadironda, meaning eaters of trees. So Mohawk is one of the native nations in New York. So it's one of the indigenous group of people are Native Americans. It looks like Elias has his hand up. Let's see what's up, dude?
Also, I was actually gonna ask a question. Where is exactly Bear Mountain? And what
Bear
part
Mountain.
of mountain?
So it's just north of the city. Here, I can show you. So Bear Mountain is right over here.
Dude, that's so cool. I've
Yeah,
never
it's
really
really
heard of
cool.
Bear Mountain. I've just heard of it, like rumors and everything.
Yeah, I think it's a really popular mountain that people go to.
Cool. Because my brother went on a trip to it, and I think he lost one of something over there.
Oh no. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, I mean, going out in nature, it's easy to lose stuff. But yeah, because New York City's right here, Bear Mountain's right up there. It's so close. I was actually there last week. So, we're gonna go ahead. So, we're gonna tap into the history a little bit. This is a map of all of the Native American groups or the Native American nations of New York. If you look at this map, I put a star where the 3 mountain ranges are, and you can kind of see who the native people were that lived there. So does anyone have any guesses, or does anyone want to say what they see? You can put it in the chat or you can raise your hand. Either one is fine.
I would like to.
Okay, cool. Which ones do you see?
I see. Sorry, that was my brother.
It's okay.
Anyway, I see one right here next to the third star on the top,
Mm-hmm.
and I see a couple right next to the one on the side on the right.
Yeah. What are you reading? What are the names?
God, I can't see their names because it's not close enough. Hold on, let me zoom in. And what the?
Oh,
Where'd
it's
it
on
go?
the screen. All right, so
Yeah, can you zoom in for me because I can't zoom in.
I can't zoom in, but that's okay because I'm about to say it on the next slide anyway, so we're all good.
Okay.
So the original people in this area were the Iroquois, the Mohican, the Oneida, the Onondaga, the Seneca, and the Susquehanna. These are all actually names that you'll see all over upstate New York all the time. So it's really cool. A lot of the names have stayed, and like there's a college named Susquehanna and Oneida, and there's Seneca Falls, where a lot of women back in the early 1900s like fought for the right to vote. So a lot of cool history is still associated with these names. But these were the names of the Native Americans that lived there. So these are the highest peaks in New York. As you can see, I think they put like 5 or 6 on this, 7. They put like 7 on the screen here. We're only gonna talk about 3 of them. The 3 tallest are Mount Marcy, Algonquin Peak, and Mount Haystack. Does anyone wanna guess how high these, the peaks are? You can put your best guess in the chat if you want. Here, I can give you a hint. Yes, you can eat. So I'm gonna put a hint in the chat and then you guys can put your best guesses. More than 3,000 feet.
I have a question for Kayla.
Oh, she's not here today.
Oh, darn it.
That's okay.
Then I have a question for you.
Okay.
How many mountains have you been to, and can you name them?
Every mountain? I have been to a lot of mountains. I lived in California for a while. So they have a whole different mountain range out there called the Rocky Mountains. So I've probably been to like 20 or 30 mountains in my lifetime. Kayla's been to a lot. I want to say she's been to like over 100 mountains easily, which is crazy.
I am here. I have to go in a few minutes, but yeah, I've been to a lot of mountains, some covered in ice, some covered in snow, And I've hiked actually Mount Marcy and Algonquin out of these peaks. This first one, Mount Marcy, and this middle one, Algonquin, are two of the peaks that I've hiked a while ago.
Hey, so Kayla's been to two of the mountains that we're talking about today. That's awesome. All right, Ogashi, what's your guess?
For the Algonquin Peak, I think it is 5,115 or more.
5,115 or more. That's a very specific guess. I guess we'll see. I think it's a good guess. All right, Araceli, what's your guess?
My guess is 15,000 or 5,000.
15,000 or 5,000? That's a really good range. You covered all your bases there. That's awesome. All right, so you guys guessed really, really well. You were very close. It looks like maybe Ogechi saw the number for that one, which is on me. But she remembered it, which is dope. Yeah, Mount Marcy is 5,344 feet. Algonquin Peak is 5,115 feet. And Mount Haystack is 4,961 feet. So these are pretty tall mountains. And to kind of put it in perspective, the Empire State Building is around 1,400 feet. So almost, not quite, but almost 4 Empire State Buildings could fit inside of Mount Marcy. So if you think about how tall the Empire State Building is, and so Kayla's hiked this. She's hiked 4 Empire State Buildings at once, which is crazy. Right. So we're gonna watch this quick little video. We just watched you. Oh my goodness. All right, so that video was about the Adirondack Mountains. which are, I'm sorry about this, guys, but it's this green part up here. This is the mountain range. See how there's a bunch of different mountains? So this is the Adirondacks, and they're up north. Oh yeah, and a fun fact about the Adirondack Mountains, if you guys have ever seen these chairs or heard of Adirondack chairs, that's named after these mountains. That's where they were invented, which is kind of cool because once you see them here, you'll see them everywhere. Tons of people have these guys. So does anyone have any questions or any thoughts about the video? Like, what do you guys think of it? What did you guys think of the Adirondacks? Yeah, Rasley, what's up?
That was cool.
That was cool. I'm glad you think so. Ogeshi, all you.
I saw that there was most like nature, but not really wildlife, and the lakes are pretty big, and there's a lot of trees.
It's true. It's true. The lakes are really big. There's a lot of lakes in New York because there used to be glaciers here, which we kind of get into later. But glaciers carved out these like huge tracts of land. They carved out like huge holes in the ground and then they melted into them. And so they made lakes. So New York is covered in lakes. And there are a lot of trees, but there's also a lot of wildlife. The trees just do a really good job of hiding them, which I guess it works out well for the wildlife. Yeah, Rasley?
Someone said, can you please talk? Can I please talk?
Oh, I must have missed it. Let's see. Let me check the chat. Oh yeah, for sure, Yulia, where are you at? All right.
Okay, first off, someone else wants to be unmuted too. Second, I was gonna ask you, tell you, if you go on Mystery Science and there's a video, one certain video that you can grow your own chair on a literal tree.
What?
Your own chair on a legit tree. It's so cool.
That is so cool. You should send that to us.
A year to grow. It only takes a year to grow. I dare you guys.
Send us the link and then we can all check that out. That'd be so cool. That sounds amazing. I can't believe you can grow a chair out of a tree. That's crazy. You are. And Rosemary, you wanted to talk?
I was actually pretty amazed about the thing what I saw.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
The lake, that was really crazy.
Right? Isn't that lake so big? I don't know if I've ever been to a lake that big before, actually. But it's beautiful. It's almost like the ocean. I'm glad you
It's kind
thought
of like
it was
a
cool.
forest.
You like the forest too?
Yeah.
Yeah, the forest is so pretty. It's very like quiet up there.
It's kind of like, I kind of like it because it's like, it doesn't have like trash everywhere and everything.
Yeah, it's very clean. I mean, they work really hard to keep it clean though. For you guys, for like kids and future generations.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay.
oh, I'm glad you liked it so much. Yeah, the mountains are really beautiful and people love to get away to them for like weekends away because it feels very like cleansing and clean. But so we're going to talk about the next mountain range now, which is just as beautiful. We're going to talk about the Appalachian Mountains. So we're just going to go over it briefly today because I think we may dive into it deeper at another time. But yeah, of course. Wait, hold on. I didn't mean to ignore you guys. I'm so sorry. Wesley and Ogeshi, I'm going to let you guys talk real quick before you dive into the Appalachians. Let me just find you. Let's see. All right, Wesley, it's all you.
I remember on the weekend on Saturday, I think, right? I was at my cousin's because that's when we were celebrating his birthday, and we went to the woods. And like halfway through the trail, because my cousin had a dog, I was like, we could have brought the dog with us.
It's true. No,
It was
that's
really
really
nice.
Dogs love going, and a lot of people who get dogs who like to go outside do it because they're such funny.
Yeah, but like
things.
halfway like through the trail, I just realized that. I was like, oh wait, oh my god, I didn't realize that.
See, that's great for next time because now you'll remember and you can bring the dog. But yeah, dogs are great for that kind of stuff. You'll see them everywhere when you go on hikes. All right, Ogechi, what's up?
I was gonna say like for the Aplacan Mountain, it is actually kind of also shaped like the chair somehow.
Yeah, it has like a slope and then it goes kind of flat at the bottom. You're right. That's a really cool observation. I like that a lot. I think you must be an artist. You've got an artist's eye. All right, Arasley, what's up?
If you had a puppy and you went to the woods, you might lose the puppy because it's little.
Yeah, I think a puppy, you have to be careful. People usually wait until their dogs are older, but I think that's very thoughtful. That's true. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of talking and then we can talk at the end. So, the Appalachian Mountains are 1,500 miles long. So that's crazy long. That's all the way from Canada, Newfoundland, Canada, down to Alabama, which is in the south. So it stretches this whole span. These are all the Appalachian Mountains. And the Appalachian Mountains are really old, really old. So everyone can take a guess. You can put your guess in the chat. How old do you think the Appalachian Mountains are? I'll give you a quick hint in the chat. They are more than 1 million years old. Or you can also annotate if you want, and you can write the number in. I'll allow that. Okay, that's 6. Let me see how many zeros that is real quick. I got to do some counting. 1, 2, 3. Oof, that's a lot of zeros. That was a great guess, but not quite that old. So actually 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, not quite that old. Just a couple zeros. That's more. 25 million. Okay, good guess. Good guess. You're gone. 1, 2, 10 million, 1 billion, 20 million. All right, we're getting a lot of good guesses. It's kind of right in the middle of what everyone's saying. It's not to 1 billion yet. 2.5 million. Okay, 2.5 million. Okay, a lot of great guesses, guys. But, all right, I'm gonna clear this now. Oop, they're all drawings. Okay, I'm clearing the drawings. Stop drawing. 6 billion. All right, you guys have some really good guesses. They are 480 million years old. So kind of like 500 million, which is really old. They're one of the oldest mountain ranges on Earth. So I don't know if you guys have learned about like Pangea and what the Earth's crust used to look like. And if you haven't, I won't go too far into it because that's a whole big thing. But they are one of the oldest, not just like mountain ranges, but land masses on Earth, which is crazy. They were formed by glaciers. So glaciers like came down and carved out the mountains or carved out the valleys. Fault lines, which is what makes earthquakes. So a fault line is where like two pieces of the Earth's crust come together. And this is the fault line. And just like continents moving around and doing their thing and pushing up some parts of the land over here and carving it out over there. So it's formed by a lot of different geological forces. And we can talk that over at the end if that's a little confusing. But the reason like it's so old that some of the rivers are older than the mountains. So if you look at all of the rivers, some flow straight to the Atlantic, which is like normal and what you would expect. And then some flow into like Ohio and Middle America, because there used to be a giant ocean in the middle there. And some of the river paths have carved out these huge canyons, and there are these tiny little brooks, but they've been there for so long that they form these beautiful, beautiful, like, yeah, canyons. So it's really cool, and I'll show you guys some pictures. So we're also going to touch really quick on the Appalachian Trail. So some people who are really cool and really outdoorsy, and Kayla has tons of friends like this, will hike the entire Appalachian Trail. So the entire mountain range from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. So all the way from Maine down to Georgia. Takes about 6 months to do, which is 6 months of just mountain climbing every day, up and down, da da da. It's 14 states long and 5 million steps. So people try to get like 10,000 steps a day, right? You like check on your watch. So this is 5 million, which is crazy. And there have been a lot of famous hikers, but I thought the coolest one was this woman named Emma Gatewood. She was 67 years old. She had 11 children, 23 grandchildren, and she was one of the first ever thru hikers. It was back in 1955 when not a lot of women did this, so she was super cool because she was a woman doing this, and she was older than you would expect someone to be able to do this, and she did it anyway because she's a total rad lady, and I thought it was super cool. So, all right, Elia, I'll let you speak. Okay, wait, guys, try not to draw when it's not like a drawing thing. All right. Oh, I see a bunch of hands up. Okay, I'll get to all of you guys. Don't worry. All right, Elia, what's up?
Okay, first off, the drawing on the whole drawing on the thing was funny when you said stop drawing. That was funny.
I'm glad you think so.
I was actually gonna say that that when some people actually go mountain climbing, they could fall and could break their bones. Also, some kids there's some kids that say that saying red makes you a grandma, but I don't think that about you.
Then call me a grandma because I love the word rad. I think it's great.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a super cool word, and if that makes me a grandma, then that's okay. But it's true. I think Elia brings up a really good point. Mountain climbing is really, really dangerous, and so is rock climbing. And you should go always with someone who's really good at it.
Why did you ask me to unmute?
Oh, that was a mistake. Sorry.
Wait, first.
Yeah, it's really dangerous. You should always go with someone who's trained to do it, who's a professional, who can help you out. And these people have trained really, really hard and taken a lot of safety courses to be able to do that. So that's a very good point. All right. Araceli, what is up?
Is there mountain in New York?
So this is New York up here. And this is the mountain range. This is the Appalachian Trail, but the mountain range is all of this. Everything that you see that's kind of like gray here. So these are the Appalachians we were talking about. This is the state of New York, and you can see the trail goes right through.
It goes like this. Look, let me see. It goes like this.
Yeah, that's exactly what it goes like. That's true. So yeah, this one does go through New York. All right, Alvaro, what's up?
Yeah.
Oh, you had your hand up.
Wait. I didn't put my hand up.
Oh, well, do you have any questions or anything to say while I've got you?
No, I don't know how. I don't know.
Okay. That happens sometimes, right? Zoom can be silly.
Yeah.
So I'll just. All right, Ogechi, what's up?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you see how it's from around Georgia to Miami?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, I think Miami is one of the closest countries to Canada.
Yeah, so Maine up here is the state that's closest to Canada, and this is Canada all around it. So the trail starts in Maine, but the mountain range keeps on going. So that was a really good observation. Maine is really close to Canada, and so are we up at the top. That's Canada. But yeah. Did anyone have any other questions? Feel free to do like the little emoji hand raising guy.
Yeah, I have another question.
Oh, sure. I'm just gonna call on Chibuki real quick.
I have a prediction.
Okay, what's your prediction?
So, mountain tigers?
Yes. Mountain lions?
Yeah, mountain lions.
Mhm.
If so they can technically climb on any mountain?
Yeah, I mean they have certain mountains that they like to live by. But they can climb mountain like whatever mountain they choose, but they usually just live in specific areas.
Okay.
Did you have a specific mountain you wanted to ask about? Hey, Rosemary, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I have a question. It's not really about mountains, but I'm really curious how many people are in the world.
7 billion.
What?
It's a lot of
That's
people.
crazy.
Yeah, we can do a whole presentation on that later if you want. There's a lot of people. All right, so I'm gonna move ahead a little bit because we're running out of time. I want to get to the cool animals and stuff. So clear all drawings. All right. So the Appalachian Mountains have a really cool history. This is a map from 1562. And you can see the word right here, Alpachin. This was down in Florida, down by where like the mountains end. And it was a Native American village near Tallahassee, Florida. And it was called Alpachin. And that's where the name of the mountain range came from. Another name for them was the Allegheny Mountains. That was like a much more common name back when people started first settling around here. And Washington Irving, a super famous author, thought that America should be renamed Algania, because I guess, back then a lot of it was around this area. So that's kind of cool. We almost lived in Algania. So we're also going to talk about the Catskill Mountains real quick. Those are the mountains closest to New York, and they're famous. Oh, shoot. I'm going to mute you real quick. There we go. There's an author, Washington Irving, that we just talked about, and he wrote a couple of stories that take place in the Catskills. So if you hear about Rip Van Winkle or the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, that takes place in these mountains, which is super cool. They're also well known for rock climbing. Like I said, this guy's a professional. He's done it his whole life. So he goes up to these really, really high areas. And you can see this is the ground, and he's all the way up here. But the Shawangunk Mountains, also known as the Gunks in the climbing community, are world famous, and they're really great rock climbing, and it's beautiful. And these are some of the waterfalls that I told you guys about, like water carving out really cool canyons just because it's flowed that way for so long. And now we're going to get to the wildlife. We're going to learn a bit about moose. Moose are huge. They live in Maine and New York and all the way up to Alaska, but they're the biggest member of the deer family. They're 600 to 1,200 pounds, and at the shoulder, so right up here, they can reach 6 feet. Their predators are bears and coyotes, and their diet are twigs, leaves, and aquatic plants. So aquatic means they live in the water. So they can dive down really far and grab plants from the bottom of a lake. And they eat up to 60 pounds of plants a day, which is crazy. Well, I see some stuff in the chat. What's going on? Oh. Yes. Oh, thank you, Ogechi. Yeah, you knew the numbers. Very cool. So we're gonna watch a quick thing about moose. Hey.
Moose. Moose live in warm to cold climate in Europe. With big muscular shoulders, skinny legs, a slender rump, and a stubby little tail, they are the largest member of the deer family. They stand taller than a horse. Moose have long, funny faces and a strong, flexible upper lip. Under their chin is a furry, floppy bit of skin called a bell. They love to eat small plants, vegetation, and underwater plants. A female moose is called a cow. And a young moose is called a calf. Cows are very good mothers. They never let their calves get too far away. While they're young, the calves drink milk from their mothers. A male moose is called a bull. Can you spot the difference between a bull and a cow? Yes, a bull has antlers. Antlers are wonderful horns that look like tree branches. Male moose grow their antlers at the end of summer. They use them to fight other moose. The antlers then drop off or shed before winter, ready to grow back the next year. Don't moose have fascinating features? What an amazing animal. Click on the videos.
So yeah, moose are super cool. How do you guys think moose might be important to their ecosystem? If you kind of think about, and this is something you can think about, you don't have to have an answer right now, but just like from what you saw, they eat plants, like how do you think they play into the ecosystem? We're going to talk about it later. So you can just kind of think about it and keep it in the back of your mind. And this is a quick moose maze. You guys can draw on it if you want. This is a lot harder. You guys were breezing through the other mazes I put up before. So let's see, we start down here at this front hoof, and then we want to go up and through and somehow at the back hoof over here. So this one's a toughie. It looks like someone's going for it. Ooh, nice. Yeah, this one's hard. I can always send this to you guys later too if you want to try it on your whoever did this blue line is funny. This one's really hard. It looks like this green line dude has got it. He's almost there, or she is almost there, or they're almost there. This one is hard. I'm gonna send this to you guys so you can do it later. I know that it's challenging to do on the screen. All right. So Next, we're going to talk about black bears. Black bears are really cool. They're smaller than brown bears. Okay. Okay, guys, the drawing is over. They're smaller than brown bears, which are known to be really big. And they're about 4.5 feet long. So I bet a lot of you guys are like 4.5 feet, right about there. And so they're about nose to tail, as long as you're tall. Males can be up to 660 pounds, which is pretty big still, and females can go from 90 to 180 pounds, which is like around the size of a lot of humans, which is crazy. Their superpowers are they run really, really fast, they can climb trees really well, and they hibernate. So they're really good sleepers. If you guys want to talk about hibernation more later, we can, but they'll sleep basically for the winter months and they'll just live off the fat stores that they have. So we're gonna watch this quick little guy. Look at a little baby with its mom. So I don't know if you guys have heard the term mama bear, but bears are known to be very protective of their cubs. And they mostly eat berries, plants, and fish. Every once in a while, they'll eat something like a moose or a deer, but they mostly just like their fish and their berries. So they're usually pretty chill. You're gonna watch this quick thing.
Black bears. Big, strong black bears are powerful animals. Most black bears have a lovely black coat with a light brown nose. They're a medium-sized bear that are smaller than grizzly bears, but bigger than a panda bear. They have sharp claws in their paws, which are great for climbing, and can be found in the forests of North America, Mexico, and Canada. In winter, black bears hibernate. This is when they sleep all winter, living off stored body fat from eating lots and lots. Black bears eat almost anything, from berries and fruit to salmon, small animals, and food they come across, which means they're omnivores, like humans. They use their sensitive noses to smell food or other bears. Most black bears live alone, which means they are solitary animals. Cute baby bears are called cubs. They have great mums to look after them when they're little. Aren't black bear mums great? Oops, it's difficult to walk in the snow. Can you crawl like a black bear cub? Click on the videos above to see more of me.
Sorry, y'all. All right. So we're going to talk about the little brown bat real quick too. So they're so small. They're like this big. They're some of the smallest bats around. There's definitely ones that get teenier, but it has a wingspan of 8 to 9 inches. So that's like maybe a little bit bigger than my phone. And it weighs 0.3 to 0.4 ounces. So that is like 1/3 of an ounce, which is crazy. Its superpowers are echolocation. So they'll make noises and they'll hear the echoes of the noises, and that's how they like navigate everything. And they can eat over 1,000 insects per feeding period. So they'll just fly around and they'll have their mouth open and they'll capture all like mosquitoes and bugs and and they can eat over 1,000 bugs, which is crazy. And also they're the only mammals that fly. And that goes for all bats, but bats are the only mammals that fly, which I think I saw you guys had a bat lesson, so you maybe knew that one. But they're really important to agriculture, and agriculture is how we grow our food. So they eat a lot of bugs. Bugs eat plants usually. So by bats keeping the bug population in check, and make sure that we can eat things like pecans and almonds and pears and walnuts and rice and all these foods that you see here on the screen, even chocolate. You can see here that if we didn't have bats to eat all the bugs, the amount of chocolate that we could eat would go down by 30%. So that means we would lose a third of all chocolate, which is crazy. So next time you eat a chocolate bar, think of bat. We're also going to talk about the beaver. Beavers are super cool. They're the largest rodent in America. And a rodent is like a rat is a rodent, or a mouse is a rodent. So that's the rodent family. So beaver is like a distant cousin of a rat, but they're big and they're cute. They mostly eat twigs and leaves. And when they fell down trees, when they like chew on trees and they fall, they like the twigs that are at the top of the trees best. And their superpowers are building dams. They mate for life. So they pick one other beaver and they're like, okay, it's you. We're together forever. And they can waterproof their fur through a specific oil that they have, which is really cool. And beavers can hold their breath for 15 minutes. So beavers are best known for building dams, and they build dams to create beaver lodges. So you have to swim in to get to them, but then it's dry and cozy underneath. So like right in the middle here. And that protects them from predators. They swim back out, which is really cool. And they're also the New York State animal. Beavers have a really big history with New York. The first people to come here from Europe in this area often would use beaver pelts and bring them back, and that was like a big trade. So beavers had a massive impact on our history and Canada's history. So it's really cool. They got New York State animal. Look at this guy, he's so cute. I'm gonna watch this quick little video about him.
Welcome to Moo Moo Math and Science. A keystone species is a species that has a large impact on their habitat given their size and numbers. Their daily activities impacts all kinds of others. Welcome to Moo Moo Math and Science. A keystone species is a species that has a large impact on their habitat given their size and numbers. Their daily activities impacts all kinds of other species. The name is derived from a keystone, which is a central stone at the summit of an arch that locks the whole together. So in reality, a keystone species locks the entire ecosystem together. Let's look at beavers, a keystone species. When beavers build their dam and lodge, they basically create their own wetlands, which impacts many other organisms. In addition, as the number of beavers increase, so does the biodiversity of the ecosystem, and also the inverse. Less beavers means less biodiversity. You may have heard the expression, busy as a beaver. This is because, well, beavers stay busy building stuff. Beavers build dams and a lodge to live in. The dam transfers a stream or creek into a wetland. Beavers are highly adapted for water and they're great swimmers. They can even stay underwater for up to 15 minutes. They are also safe from many predators while in the water. So, well, they just create their own wetland by building a dam. In turn, this wetland impacts many other species. In doing so, beavers change the distribution and abundance of many other animals and plants, mostly by indirect interaction. Behind the beaver dam, a pond of still water is formed. This pond is then populated by animals and plants that typically live in lakes rather than streams or ponds. When beavers cut down trees for food and for building their dams and lodges, they select the species of trees that they prefer, and they leave other trees. Consequently, after many years, the forest beside a beaver pond is usually dominated by different tree species than it was before the beavers started building the dam. And in the gaps where the beavers removed the trees, bushes and new saplings now grow. The beavers' dam building skills impact all of the following: birds, amphibians, reptiles, invertebrates, trees, large animals like moose, and many other organisms. Another key point of a keystone species, like a beaver, is that they can be used to determine the health of an ecosystem. So in reality, the largest rodent in North America is actually a dam building, tree eating superhero. Thanks for watching, and Moo Math uploads a new math and science video every day. Please subscribe and.
All right, so yeah, beavers are really cool. And they mentioned the word keystone a lot, which I think we're going to talk about maybe next week or the week after that. But another keystone animal, which is another animal that has a big impact on all the other animals in an ecosystem, is the wolf. And the eastern wolf specifically is the one that's in New York. So these guys are a little bit smaller than other wolves out there. They're about the size of a husky, maybe a little bit bigger than a husky, but they're smaller than other wolves. They work really well in a pack. They're super social animals. They howl, which I think wolves are really well known for howling, but they use it to communicate not just with each other, but with other wolves outside of their pack. And they roam really far. So they can walk incredibly far to cover their territory, which can be around 93 miles. So it's crazy. Wolves are super cool. Like I said, they're a keystone predator. So they eat deer, beaver, elk, and moose. And the reason they are a keystone predator is because they keep grazing animals in check. And they'll eat the weakest member of a herd. So overall, over time, the herd gets stronger, which is really cool. I have a soft spot for wolves. I don't know if you guys can tell, I love them. So we have a quick word search here if you guys want to try to find a couple of them. These are some of the animals that we learned today. I don't know if you guys want to take a stab at it, or we have a couple minutes left, so I can just move on from this one too, actually. Oh, someone found bear. Amazing. Fox. This is great. Owls. My screen might be a little bit behind. Bear. This is so good, guys. And I can always send these to you later too if you want. So I will clear these. Yes, okay, I'll send these to you guys later. So we're also going to talk about the porcupine real quick. The porcupine is super cool. He has quills, and they can't shoot quills. I know that's a misconception, but they also have a very strong sense of smell, and they like to eat trees, branches, twigs, and leaves. And since we're so close to the end, I'm going to skip the video now, but I can send it to you guys later. Real quick, the bobcat, super pretty, super cool, larger than a house cat, smaller than a mountain lion. They have really strong senses because they're a hunter, and they like to eat rabbits, rats, squirrels, birds, and deer. So they like smaller snacks better because they're a smaller predator. A bobcat kitten right here, they're blind for the first 10 days of life. So they stick close to mom, and then they stay with their mom until they're 11 months old. And they have really good camouflage. So take a look at these two pictures real quick. And if you can find the bobcat, you can go ahead and circle them. Nice. Oh yeah, you guys are really good at this. Okay, you did an awesome job. Very cool. I like that someone figured out the circles thing. So these are also just some of the tracks of the animals. So if you guys ever want to go up to the mountains yourself, you can bring this with you. And you can pick out and find tracks in like the mud and stuff in the snow of animals nearby. And these are just some questions I thought you guys might want to think about over the course of the week, like how animals are all related to each other and how they relate to us. Because we all are related and we're all part of the larger ecosystem of planet Earth. So it looks like it is 5:30. I'm guessing you guys have got to get going. So if you do, feel free to bounce out, think about these questions. Maybe I'll bring them up again next week. Just think about how animals might be related to each other. If you want to hang out and stay and chat, feel free to do that too. I'm going to hang out here for a while, and I'm going to can unmute everybody. Let me see. Where is it at? Looks like people are starting to leave.